Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of TXN Talking Wrestling. It is good MF Michael Fletcher alongside my good buddies Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock. And Michael Bullock just ducked out. I don't know what the heck happened there. But Anthony Florio, Michael Bullock, and myself, Michael Fletcher, as we are going to be recapping last night's Halloween Havoc event live from we're going to do it right now. So it was from the CWC, the Capitol Wrestling Center, the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, live on Peacock in the United States and on the WWE Network from around the world. So here we go, guys. We're just going to dive right on in. And we started it off with the first fight of the night, which was the ladder match for the vacated NXT North American Championship. The competitors was Carmelo Hayes, Oro Messiah, Von Wagner, Nathan Frazier, and Wes Lee, the winner of the bout in 19 minutes and 17 seconds. And the new NXT North American champion, Wes Lee. Wes Lee wins the match, wins the title. Wow. I mean, great story. Great story, great storyline. I'm so happy Wes won it all. He deserves it after everything that's happened to him, from the breakup from MSK to now trying to involve himself as a solo act, and now he gets the ultimate payoff by winning the championship, winning the title this way. Absolute great way to start it. It was a very good ladder match as well. I gotta say it. This was at least 3.5 to 3.75 of a star. To win the title at 19 minutes and 17 seconds was incredible. Anthony Florio, it's all yours. Unprecedented crowning. History was made. Wes Lee is now the North American champion.
All right. With all due respect, as always, MF, I think you underscored this a little bit. This was the second best fight of the night for me. I'm going to give this between 4.25 to 4.5 stars. The high energy, high spot heavy match was a fantastic one that may have set the bar impossibly high for the rest of the show. Nathan Frazier and Oru Mensah showed up and showed out in their first opportunity to compete in a premium live event. Von Wagner was great as the unstoppable big man who fans very passionately did not want to win. It was Wes Lee and Carmelo Hayes who provided the foundation for everything that happened between bells and suitably were the final two competing for the North American Championship. Wes Lee winning was the right call. He has been an inspirational babyface who was handed a bad hand with the end of MSK and forced to find himself on television. He did, and the reaction the fans gave him last night was reflective of a superstar who earned their respect and admiration. Now he channeled that into his first singles championship. Wagner played the role of the bruiser, overpowering the opposition and bumping them around the ring, like Kane in those early inaugural Money in the Bank ladder matches. Mensah took an ugly bump off a ladder, barely clearing the top rope before falling on the other competitors in the match. Frazier delivered a frog splash from the top rope onto Wagner, driving him through a ladder that had been propped between the apron and guardrail. Lee wiped out Frazier at ringside, and the ladder stopped selling to fix his hair in the single most annoying moment of the match. Wagner miraculously recovered from being splashed through a friggin' ladder. Gorilla Press slammed Lee from the ring and onto the commentary table at ringside. And Lee leveled Hayes on a bridging ladder with a Meteora, then climbed the primary one to retrieve the title and win the match to a thunderous reaction. You deserve it, chance in the whole nine. This, to me, was the second best fight of the night. I am going to give this in excess of, like I said, 4.25 to 4.5 stars. And I'm trying to solve the mystery that is what in the world happened to Michael Bullock. We had him with us, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we ended up losing him.
Yeah.
And I have absolutely no idea what in the world happened, unless he had to step away for a moment, possibly, maybe. Hopefully. I don't know. But hopefully we'll get him back before the show is done. And if so, we'll catch him up on what he missed, as we always do. So 4.25, 4.5. This was amazing. Second best fight of the night. One I thought was better. You already know what that is.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that when the time comes. So with that, MF, set me up for the next match.
All right. And it was a one-on-one match, as it was Grayson Waller versus Apollo Crews in Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal. They spun the wheel, and it came up in a casket match. Oh, my God. I wish Bullock was here right about now. But he isn't. And it was Apollo Crews winning the casket match in 12 minutes and 58 seconds. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
Yeah. I'll give it 3 stars for the effort, maybe 3.25. The rivalry between Apollo Crews and Grayson Waller came to a head in a casket match that leaned a little too heavily into theatricality to the detriment of its quality. Crews bumped through the casket, referees wandered aimlessly, and the lights went out. There were druids and a second casket as the match tried too hard to be something it was not. Yes, this is Halloween Havoc, and there is a desire to have different gimmick bouts across the card, but nothing about the Crews and Waller feud needed the casket stipulation. A one-on-one showdown likely would have been very good at the least. Instead, this was overbooked and mostly unnecessary, even if the effort from the participants were admirable. And during the match, Grayson Waller grabbed Vic Joseph's pen from the ringside commentary table. Crews bumped hard from the ropes through the lid of the casket, only to appear outside of it after a brief lights out. Druids brought a second casket to the ring. Crews attempted to throw ring steps on a prone Waller, who escaped in the nick of time. Waller caught his charging opponent with a rolling stunner, then mocked the Undertaker. Then he mocked the Undertaker before attempting a tombstone pile driver. Crews countered, and then Crews delivered a spine buster into the casket for the win. So, all right. So there isn't much more to say on that. So, all right. So I'm going to give it about 3 to 3.25 stars. We got Bullock back, thank goodness. So Bullock, come on in. MF's going to catch you up. It's only a little bit.
Yeah, it's not much, Bullock. First off, let's talk about Wes Lee winning the ladder match in 19 minutes and 17 seconds to win the North American Championship.
Oh, man, I mean, what a match that was. And all I can say is I'm so happy for Wes Lee. I mean, after everything that happened, of course, with his partner, of course, the whole breakup of MSK with his partner, we're not going to get into all that, but good for Wes Lee. I mean, he deserves this moment, and yeah, what a match this turned out to be. So I'll give this about 3.5 to 4 for this match, and is the match with Grayson Waller,
spin the wheel, make the deal. One of your own personal favorites. I know it's very near and dear to your heart. A casket match.
Yeah, 3.25, and memo to Grayson Waller: don't you ever, and I mean ever, mock the current Hall of Famer by attempting a tombstone pile driver. Yeah, how did that do for you? It came back and bit you in the ass. So there's only one man who can attempt that tombstone pile driver, and that is The Undertaker. As a matter of fact, if The Undertaker were still wrestling right now, I'm sure he would tombstone your ass right now. So, but this was crazy, all over the place here, and yeah, so 3.25. So there's really nothing more for me to say.
All right. I was gonna totally agree with you guys on that one. So 3.25, nothing more to add there. So we're gonna move on to another spin the wheel, make the deal. This one was done on NXT, a Weapons Wild match, as it was Roxanne Perez versus Cora Jade. Roxanne Perez wins the match in 12 minutes and 25 seconds. Michael Bullock, it is yours, my friend.
I'll give this about another 3.25 stars here. I mean, the outcome was never in doubt. I mean, you knew Roxanne Perez was gonna get the win over Cora Jade, and yeah, she hit her finishing maneuver onto those chairs. So yeah, she wasn't hesitant this time like she was um, like the last time, and this time she gets the win here. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm smelling a rubber match between these two because Cora Jade has won one, Roxanne Perez has won one. There has to be a rubber match because I don't think things have been settled between these two, but I think the rubber match will be the one where we'll finally settle the score between these two, and hopefully after that, these two can move on to bigger and better things. So 3.25 stars. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, no, this rivalry isn't over by a long shot. It was a big win, no doubt about it for Roxanne Perez. This is exactly what it needed it to be. There's really nothing more to add. I mean, this was, like I said, a great victory for Roxanne. She finally gets the Duke here, more than anything else, and now it's upward and onward for her. So, yeah. Anthony Florio, this is about a 3.5 star match. It's yours. Florio, we
Anthony, are
can't
you
hear you,
there?
bro. I think he might be having a mic issue. Hang on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
we can hear you.
loud and clear now.
Okay. All right. Like I said, 3.25 to 3.5 stars. A physical match with some entertaining spots and the emotion you would expect from a rivalry that has been as intense as this one. It delivered what it needed to. Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade took a big bump from an elevated platform through a table before transitioning to a finish that saw the babyface answer her foe's taunt of "I was never your friend" by back body dropping her onto a bed of chairs. These two are the future of women's wrestling in WWE, and given the television time and expectations on them to deliver, they performed admirably en route to an actual victory for Perez and a professional one for both women. Highlights of the match. Roxanne Perez brought a skateboard with her to the ring. Nice callback to Jade's shocking betrayal of her a month ago. Jade cut off her opponent's momentum with some sort of spray to the eyes. Jade applied a camel clutch with the assistance of a rope on the floor. Babyface fought back, attacking her rival with an appropriate intensity. Jade tried to run, but the combatants fought through the crowd before arriving on an elevated platform. And Perez momentarily hesitated to punch Jade before both women took a plunge off the platform and through a table. So, yeah, very good match here. 3.25, 3.5 stars. Not much more to say here. MF, next match.
All right, and with that, we do move on to the this one was the ambulance match. Julius Creed versus Damon Kemp, and Julius Creed wins the match in 14 minutes and 9 seconds. That gives Anthony Florio. No, actually, I lead off on this.
You
This
lead
was
off.
a solid match. All right, this was a solid match. I thought it was good for what it was worth. I think it could have been a lot more better, but they utilized the stipulation really well. It was a solid matchup. I'm happy that they didn't break up the Creed brothers. I think that would have been a little stupid. And if you notice, I don't think we saw Roderick Strong anywhere in the area. Now I don't know for sure, but if you guys can help me with that, if Roderick got involved or not, I don't think he did. But you guys can clear it up for me if he did or not. But this was a great match. This was a great victory, and nothing more to say. So Anthony, it's yours. 3.5 stars.
Okay. My thoughts on this match. I'm going to give it about 3.25, 3.5 stars once again. Creed took considerable pain and punishment to ensure the continued career of his brother and tag team partner, even sacrificing his own right hand to stop Kemp from closing the ambulance door. Fired up, he unloaded on Kemp with a chair, stuffed him in the emergency vehicle, and scored the biggest win of his young career. The former amateur wrestler is a star in the making. He is already damn good between the ropes and has exhibited the intensity and aggression that stars at the next level of demand. He is going to be the guy at some point, and if not, will settle nicely into a main event role, a la Kurt Angle. Damon Kemp is no slouch himself, but is not quite at the level of his opponent. The right guy went over, and the Creeds can move back into tag team title contention if they want. Highlights of the match, I have a lot of them. Kemp wisely fended off defeat by using the same crutch he brought to the ring with him to prevent Creed from closing the ambulance door. Creed kicked the ambulance door back in Kemp's face in a sudden, explosive, violent moment. Kemp delivered a Uranagi onto the ring steps, driving the air out of his opponent. Creed trapped Kemp in a wheelchair and sent him headfirst into the ring steps. The babyface repeatedly risked his own well-being, sacrificing his hand to prevent the ambulance door from closing and ending his brother's career. And Creed wore Kemp out with the same steel chair that the heel used to brutalize Brutus, beating him about the body 10 times with the weapon. And he added a power bomb. I got caught on something here. He added a power bomb on the stretcher for good measure. So, theme of the night so far, I'm going to give this another 3.25 to 3.5 stars. So, not much more for me to add to this. So, Michael Bullock, the Creeds are saved. Brutus, Julius came through. Brutus Creed still has a job.
Yeah, I'm happy that they kept the Creed brothers together. I think that would have been stupid if they had gone about with that. Well, under the new regime, they weren't going to allow it to happen. But if it were under the old regime, the McMagma, Blubberlove, and his Bucktooth Beaver buddy Kevin Dunn, they probably would have broken up the Creed brothers. So, but thank goodness they didn't do that. So, yeah, this was a good match. I mean, it could have been better, but I enjoyed it for the most part. So, I'm going to give this about 3.5 as well. So, it's onward to the next match, Fletch.
And it is for the NXT Women's Championship, Mandy Rose versus Alba Fire, the winner of the bout in 7 minutes and 7 seconds, and still the NXT Women's Champion, Mandy Rose. Anthony, the champion remains the champion.
Champion remains the champion. And I got to say, by default, this was the worst fight of the night, to be honest with you. The match was okay, but somewhat lacking, given the effort that went into establishing Alba Fire as the top contender. The haunted house stuff earlier in the show was a ton of fun. It felt like the perfect setup for a new champion, but it was not to be. And I think it was apparent earlier in the show that Roxanne Perez is most likely the choice to dethrone Mandy Rose. And while that is the right call, one has to wonder if NXT officials missed their chance to really capitalize on the heat and make the change earlier before fans could potentially get worn out by Toxic Attraction's dominance over the women's division. Not too many highlights in this match. Alba Fire drove Rose to the venue and fought the NXT Women's Champion into the arena. A battered referee was not available to count the fall, preventing Fire from winning the title. Further interference from Dolan and Jane allowed Rose to deliver a kiss from the Rose for the win. So I could only probably give this about 2.5 stars for the effort. So Michael Bullock, front and center, champion stays champion. Bullock, you're on mute.
I muted it for some reason, but 2.5 stars. I agree with the rating. I mean, it was by default the worst fight of the night. I mean, the match could have been better. I mean, but there was just too much interference from Gigi Dolan and JC Jane to allow Mandy to retain the title. So now the question is, what's next? I mean, Roxanne Perez could be the the next one to challenge her and maybe dethrone her. But the thing is, Florio, and I understand where you're coming from with her maybe dethroning her. But the thing is, she already had her opportunity, and she lost, obviously, because of the whole Cora Jade situation. I mean, but it wouldn't surprise me if they do this again, but we'll wait and see what happens. There's really nothing more for me to say, so it's your Spledge.
Yeah, 2.5. I'll give that. It was an all right match. It was a little too short for the liking, especially for an NXT uh, event like this. I think they should have gotten a little more time, even though all the others had well over 10 minutes. Some were averaging about 12. So I think that was a little bit unfair, but I understand it. And yeah, I think it could have been a lot more better. But yeah, 2.25, 2.5, no doubt. Main event, triple threat for the NXT title. Ilya Dragunov, JD McDonough, and the champion Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker wins the match 23 minutes, 47 seconds. Michael Bullock, as the heart and soul of NXT, you lead off on the main event. You must be one proud papa like Triple H and Shawn Michaels are right now.
Oh man, I mean, this to me was the fight of the night. What a match this was. I mean, but then again, when you got the caliber of Braun Breaker, JD McDonough, and especially Ilya Dragunov, you knew this had a chance to be something really good, and boy howdy, it really delivered. Um, I'm gonna give this about 4.5, 4 3/4. I can't give it the full 5. I mean, you can make an argument for that, but I just don't think it got there yet. Maybe another 5 minutes or so, and I would have pulled the trigger, but it doesn't take away from it. What a match this was. I mean, the champion remains the champion, but to me, all three of these men really delivered a match that everybody in NXT definitely could enjoy, and you know that Shawn Michaels and Triple H definitely were smiling on this one. So the champion stays the champion, but what an effort by all three of these individuals. So 4.5 to 4 3/4. I can't give it the full 5. I mean, I'm not gonna get mad at any of you if you give it. I mean, it's worth it, but I just think to me, 5 more minutes and I would have pulled the trigger. It's your Spledge.
4.5 to 4 3/4. You're absolutely correct. This was an amazing main event. The body of work, the pinfalls, the excitement, the moments where we thought it could have gone either way, where we could have had new champions. It was a great main event. It was a solid main event. It was an NXT takeover worthy main event. This was exactly what we were waiting for, and they delivered in spades. It was an incredible matchup. It could have gone a number of ways, but it didn't. The champion remains the champion. I think now we're getting to a point where we're starting to fear who would be next to challenge Braun Breaker for the NXT title, because Braun is starting to clear out the men's locker room. There is no guy right now that we can say that's probably a legit threat. I mean, we'll have to wait and see, but yeah, this was an incredible matchup. Definitely fight of the night. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
Yes, fight of the night indeed. 4.5 to 4 3/4 of a star. Absolutely correct. I'll go as far as to call this the NXT match of the year, if I'm going to be honest with you. Wow. This was a major test for Braun Breaker, who was tasked with locking horns with two of the best wrestlers from the NXT UK brand and proving he could hang with them. Not only did he hang with them, but he confirmed himself their equals. The crowd ate it up, and while the champion may not have been the favorite among the fans, he earned their respect by the end of the match. Mission accomplished for NXT officials and the talent involved. Breaker and Dragunov focused their attention on McDonough early. Breaker launched McDonough with an overhead suplex straight out of Father Rick's playbook. Dragunov threw caution to the wind and executed the Van Terminator coast to coast in pursuit of the NXT championship. The baby faces teed off on McDonough, each delivering hard shots to the heel while the official warned him to get your fists up. Dragunov unleashed late, chopping away at both men. In a cool trio spot, Breakker delivered a German suplex to Dragunov, who in turn delivered a release overhead German to McDonough. A great false finish that saw McDonough nearly steal the win. And McDonough grabbed the referee's hand to break up the 3 count in another dramatic near fall, maybe the most dramatic near fall of the match. 4.5 to 4 3/4. Definitely that Shakespearean drama element was in high effect. And for me, when it comes to the NXT side of things, guys, this was without a doubt the NXT match of the year for right now. I don't think any other match on this in this calendar year is going to even come remotely close to that match. So 4.5, 4 3/4, fight of the night, NXT fight of the year. MF, let's take it home.
And you know what? I'll do overall review here. 9 out of 10. I mean, if it wasn't for the Alba Fire and Mandy Rose, this would get a perfect 10. I thought everything about this show was amazing. I thought they brought everything to the table. The matches were good. Yeah, there was a couple of here and there moments where you could say, all right, not a perfect 10, but 9 is definitely the rating I would give it. It was definitely everything was perfect, and it was brought home with, like Anthony said, the NXT fight of the year. So nothing more to say. Florio, it's yours.
9 out of 10 for me as well. Main event was the fight of the night. Ladder match, the second best fight of the night. The other matches, were solid to good. The women's title match was definitely the worst fight of the night. And there were some, NXT 2.0 moments thrown in there. And but other than that, very good show. It was a 9 out of 10 for this. So not much more to say here. Michael Bullock, take it home.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 for me. I mean, if it weren't for the Alba Fire Mandy Rose match, which, like I said, could have been better. I could have given it a much higher rating, but 9 out of 10 certainly ain't bad for it. So everything was solid to good to great. So there's really nothing more to say. So let's put a bow on this, Fletch.
All right, and we will indeed. So we are done for the night. Tomorrow night is Ridiculously Raw, hosted by Anthony Florio, and he'll be recapping Monday Night Raw, and as usual, it's Tony's Take. Wednesday night is Wednesday Night Madness. We'll be doing AEW Dynamite and the newest edition of NXT. And then from there, Thursday's College Football Thursday. Friday will be NFL is Cerebral Smack Talk. That'll be at 11 p.m. And that is it. So I just want to let you guys know tomorrow night's at 11, and the main shows on the middle parts are all gonna be on 10:30 this week. All right. So 10:30 start time. I got nothing more to add, guys. So have a good night. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 11 p.m. on the Tone 25 for another edition of Ridiculously Raw. Have a good night, everybody. So long for now.